Welcome back, everybody, to South Point Arena in Las Vegas. Keep wanting to say on the campus of South Point Hotel and Casino. So he's saying campus. I'm Dave McHugh, Gordon Mann alongside as we get ready for our final game of game number 3. Though day number 1 was kind of an asterisk. It was a 1 game. But day number 3 wrapping up. We got 5 more games tomorrow. This is our 6th game of today. It is the Tigers of Wittenberg taking on the Eagles of Edgewood. The Eagles already played in the game. Don't know why that's not updated. Let's see if we can apply the Saul. Interesting. They're 2-9 on the season, losing a heartbreaker to Whittier.
The other Wit.
Too many Wits.
Yeah.
2-9. Wittenberg's coming and playing their first game at 4-5. Wittenberg women started the day. The Wittenberg men will finish the day. Wittenberg will play 2 in the next 24 hours. Take a quick look at the starting lineups for these 2 teams. Bear with me because apparently the system did not want to grab the information I sent to it, so we're kicking it. And there it is, and there it goes. Our starting lineups for the Wittenberg Tigers. They'll start Harrison, Killens, Brown, Gulick, and Scott. And for the Eagles, they'll start Trader, Tusana, Hardiman, Hudeker, and Mulcair. Should be a good game, Gordon. You've got Edgewood coming in, who's got a bit of a chip on their shoulder after a tough loss yesterday. And you got a Wittenberg squad, to be honest, kind of sorting themselves out a little bit. Coaching change in the offseason that caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
4-5 in a conference that's turned into a bit of a beast in a region that is a beast.
Yeah, Wittenberg and, one of the kind of blue blood programs in Division III basketball,
yes,
along with Illinois Wesleyan and Hope and a handful of others where the community comes out and supports it, and it's almost like it's a small professional team there in Springfield, Ohio. So good fan support, decent fan support. We've got the administrators and the coaching staff from the Wittenberg women here. And we'll see. Wittenberg Tigers, you're right. Very late coaching change when Croce left to become the athletic director at Wilmington College, and Darren Hertz slides over. We'll tell you more about Coach Hertz as we go along. Wittenberg wearing the classic red and white, and we are underway.
Both teams red in color, so I'm going to maybe have to play with the scoreboard later. But in the meantime, Wittenberg's in the red, Edgewood is in the white. Edgewood with dark numbers, Wittenberg with light numbers. Thank you, gentlemen, for that.
Yeah, except for the Edgewood College on the front of the jersey, which you could barely make out.
I got a little fearful when I saw that. Put back after the initial miss is good for Tyler Gulick. The Springfield, Ohio sophomore starts off the scoring in this one. And listen, Wittenberg's also had plenty of distractions in the last few months.
Yeah, Springfield, Ohio has been in the news for a variety of things over the last 6 months or so.
Including the university.
Yeah, and I'll just say, great little city. I've worked there for my day job, which I won't bore anyone with, but cool little city, really nice community, nice little downtown, and Wittenberg, a huge, huge part of the Springfield community.
Wittenberg, we hope will remain open, but there's a lot of schools in Division III struggling, and Wittenberg's story not different, as a three-pointer in the corner is good for Killens as we are underway.
Now, Killens is the big gun for Wittenberg. All-conference last year, first team all-conference, averages almost 20 points per game. Tigers and Eagles. We'll take a look and see if they've played each other in the past.
I think they have. Something tells me they have. I just don't remember when. It's definitely going to be a foul. I wonder if they'll debate about intentional there. They're not going to. They're just going to give Trusana a normal foul.
I think it's important for Wittenberg. They're up 5-0, so far as they seem like predicting what's already happened, but important for them to get a quick start when you're the last team to play. Edgewood's had some time here, and we watched New Paltz get off to a pretty good start and then just kind of collapse on itself after 10 minutes. Ouch. Is Wittenberg the only team here that has a national championship in its history?
Oh, great question.
1977 for the Tigers.
Oh, tremendous question. Off the top of my head, yes. I don't believe, no. Nobody else has got it. Just looking at teams.
Yeah, a lot of West Coast
Mount
teams,
Union
which means not a lot
did.
of chances. Yeah, football doesn't count for this one.
No. No. I meant nearly as in they were. Well,
Very close on basketball,
Parker
right?
hit a shot in the closing seconds to give them the lead, and they lost on a buzzer beater in the championship to Christopher Newport. That was unfortunately Parker defending, but nothing Parker could do about it. So yes, you're right. Wittenberg, the only ones here who have a championship in their respective sport.
And
Shot
I think
from distance, no good.
that they have the most wins or nearly the most. Yeah, I'm just looking at all-time victories. Yeah.
I'd love to go back and revisit that. I know Wittenberg certainly brags about they have the most wins, but the last few years haven't been the normal Wittenberg standard that we're used to, and I'm curious how that may have affected that conversation. Though they had
when you
so
go,
many.
go all the way back, as far back as they go, you got a good head start on a lot of programs.
You do. 5-0 Tigers the lead on the Eagles here in a true battle of apex predators. You're thinking about that, aren't you?
Tigers and Eagles. I get it. That's good.
Yeah.
I get it.
Thank you.
I think it's the two most common nicknames in college mascots in college sports too.
It might be.
Bulldogs are in there somewhere too.
Edgewood's on the scoreboard as Houdeker hits the turnaround, leads the team with 11.5 points, and he's got 2 there. It's 5-2. Tigers on Eagles.
Well, it is history. They have never played Edgewood. They've played Edinburgh. They've played Elmira, but they have never played Edgewood.
All right then. They're not that far apart. I mean,
no, they're
yes,
not.
Ohio
really.
and Illinois.
Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, I mean.
You figure they would have. Come on, Ryan Whitnable, get on that. Great Lakes Invitational.
Oh, wow. Calling out Ryan. Shot up at the shot clock expires is missed, and Edgewood, who's got a lot of energy on the bench, comes back the other direction. Tusana forcing his way in. Floater on the double clutch, no good. Ball picked up by Harrison. Here come the Tigers. Back the other direction. I like their tiger logo. They're kind of using more and more the head of the tiger. Looks pretty spiffy.
Yeah, the other tiger kind of looked like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, no,
kind of a weird look to it.
It's still around. It can be used, but I saw this one available. I said to the Sports Information Department, I want that logo.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking logo. Long 3 for Killens. Back iron, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Hardiman, who picked up 3 fouls in the first half last night, picked up a 4th foul with 14 and a half minutes left to go in their game against Whittier and didn't play another second.
Yeah, if you're Coach Meyer, you're definitely looking for a faster start. After last night, your team fought all the way back. It was a nice fadeaway jumper from Houdeker, who's, if they're going to win, he's going to have a big game. He's
Agreed.
Leading scorer, rebounder, defender in terms of steals, field goal percentage, and free throw shooter.
Hope you're enjoying this game wherever you're picking us up, whether it's on our Blue Frame Huddles app on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Roku TV, and any other streaming partner, or online at d3hoops.com, or maybe you found our simulcast on a well-known streaming website. We appreciate you taking the time to tune in. He's Gordon Mann, I'm Pat Coleman, and he is Trey Trader, who is appropriate to his name, hit a 3 in the corner.
Team leader in that category, 38%. Not a great three-point shooting team. Not terrible. 31%. That's 265th out of 425.
Trey Trader for Trey. Harrison wants to repeat.
Good thing they didn't name him something like Brick Brickner or something. That would have been terrible.
Wittenberg retakes the lead, 8-7 on the 3 from Harrison. Harrison, a 40+% three-point shooter coming into the night. Hardiman, bounce pass to the post. Houdeker flings the ball to the far side, and
Cameron Harrison got his hand on it and kind of deflected the ball, threw off the rhythm.
Tusana couldn't hit the 3, left it short. Under 14 to play, opening half. Well, pushing and shoving, and a basket falls for Trey Killens. He'll get a chance to three-point play as Houdeker will pick up his first, and Edgewood will do their prototypical, will bring in 5. Wittenberg's going to bring in 3 themselves, so we're going to have to reset the floor. Quick look at Edgewood. They'll bring in Peyton Bowser, the junior guard out of Carroll Stream, Illinois. They'll also bring in Isaiah Eubanks, a sophomore guard out of Amro, Wisconsin, along with A.C. Strzok, a sophomore guard out of New Glarus, Wisconsin, and Matt Kirk, the sophomore forward out of Milton, Wisconsin. And I'm missing one.
Caleb Walter.
Thank you. Caleb Walter, the sophomore forward out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And for Wittenberg, they bring in 4 themselves. Spence Davidson just stepped on the floor. He's a freshman guard out of Lebanon, Ohio. Also, you've got Eddie Brown, the junior forward out of Lewis Center, Ohio. Daniel Asher, the graduate forward out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
And Isaiah Chitapa is your 4th.
Thank you. Chitapa, a freshman guard out of Louisville, Kentucky. Teamwork, folks, teamwork. 13:35, we pick up a foul there. That is team foul number 2 on the Tigers. Both teams have 2. It's a 6-0 run here for Wittenberg after falling behind. Missed shot there, and quickly come the Tigers the other direction. Bodies flying, baskets falling. Chitapa, right?
Chitapa.
Chitapa. That's better. He's playing in his 7th game. He hits the basket. He averages 5+ per game. Got a hats off to Gordon Mann, who put our sheets together. Stepped out of bounds for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I always say every year I'm going to help you do that, and every year I never get around to it. Edgewood calls a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
You take care of all the other stuff on the video broadcast, so I'm guessing I get the lighter of the 2 loads by a significant amount.
Depending on how you do your sheets compared to how I do my sheets, sir. I do mine where I pull the data from a different sheet now.
Okay.
And I pull in everything.
That's the way to do it.
It's all on Excel, though.
Yeah.
I always look for new ways to do things. 13 minutes left to go. Again, game 6 of our biggest day and our penultimate day here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. We are now on game number 12 after 1 on the opening night on Friday and 5 yesterday. We'll play 5 more tomorrow, and we'll finally get some help in the final 2 games.
Oh, really? In the final 2 games?
Redlands broadcaster will come and help us for the final 2 games of the event, which is, I mean, let's be honest, we're going to be toast if we're not toast already. Worst is, though, back-to-back 7-game days, so I'm not ready to completely complain. So we're back underway, under 13 minutes to play. Wittenberg up by 6, 13-7 on a 8-0 run. 3 of their last 3. Jinxed it. Though I can't say that, they were shooting before that. Ball out of bounds, back to the Eagles. Edgewood plays out of the NACC. And Wittenberg plays out of the NCAC. Make sure you put the C's and the A's in the proper places, because those do make a difference.
Auto corrects 2 favorite conferences.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you mean NCAA? No, I did not. Although that is also relevant to this conversation.
Yeah. Well, did you mean the NAC? No, that's in the East. I didn't mean that either. 15 on the shot clock. Good passing into the perimeter. 3-pointer missed. The rebound pulled down by Brown. Brown picks it up top of the key, hands it off to Harrison. Harrison will come to the top of the key. Now retreat back, get it down inside to Brown. Brown will go to work. Brown spin move, looking for an option off glass and in. To quote Gordon, you got it, count it, go to the line. I don't think I did that right.
No, that was fine. It was good. That's the right cadence. You got it. It's free source material. There's no trademark there.
15-7. I used to lean on it heavy. There's another free throw coming here for Brown, who's a 59% free throw shooter, and he hits that one.
His high school name is Olentangy Orange High School.
Yeah, well, sure.
I hope they're the orangutans of Olentangy Orange High School. That would be outstanding.
That's just the alliteration to beat all alliterations. Into the paint is Eubanks, runs out of real estate, pops it outside, and Malter bangs the shot in. Edgewood down by 7, 16-9 on Wittenberg. Got a coach at Wittenberg, new to the job. Coach at Edgewood, who's been there a very long time. Three-pointer in the corner. Sorry, on the wing, no good. Eubanks pulls up the long rebound. We mentioned Darren Hertz, the Florida grad of 97, taking over the program when Croce left for Wittenberg. In the meantime, Justin Meyer, the head coach of Edgewood, a DeVry graduate. I don't believe the DeVry I grew up knowing in Chicagoland.
I think it is. It's the DeVry,
Really?
the DeVry Institute.
Then
I
it
believe.
is.
Yeah. I think it is the one that used to advertise,
Oh.
that you and I are used to seeing on TV advertising as a kid.
Yes.
TV VCR repair, that commercial.
Extensively,
Yeah,
yes.
That's the one.
Three-pointer is good.
Now he played and started, I believe, at Eau Claire, had a knee injury, and then shifted into coaching. And
Got it.
I'm sure he's actually probably has a pretty interesting story.
I'll have to.
You
find
may
an
have to
excuse
talk to
get
him
on
after
the
this
air.
game. Yeah, they're classic
the
conversation.
DeVry commercials haven't migrated like the carpeting commercials out of the Chicagoland area. First time I heard Empire Carpeting, my head started twitching. I'm in Baltimore, darn it. Spin move in the paint, and we're going to get a foul on Eubanks, I believe. As he help defense came over. No, they're not. They're going to, what?
Walter, I think. No, it is the help defender. Well, they just called it on Chitapa, who says it can't possibly be on me because I'm about to inbound the ball. Yeah.
I don't think he realized it. Yeah, no, they're going to correct it now. It should have been on 24. I think it was on Eubanks who was stepping in. Yep, corrected. It's going to be on Eubanks who was stepping in on that, and a little late on the help. Eubanks, you could see him there wishing he hadn't gotten noticed. Edgewood down by 10 here, 10:25 remaining in our final game of the night. It's the right. He had another delay there. Edgewood is what? 10:22.
Yep.
Wittenberg, it's 11:22 for all of you tuned in. We appreciate it. Here in Vegas. Killens finds himself inside and able to put it through. That wasn't the plan he had when he started the attack, but it worked out. 21-9. Wittenberg leads.
14-2 run for the Tigers over the last 4:03.
Yeah, they have put their foot on this game. And a nice inside play there by Matt Kirk, the Milton, Wisconsin native.
And he was the one who played so well when they rallied last night, Kirk. Chitapa. It's a nice, quick first step.
Oh, and a nice little bounce there. Get it. And he draws the foul on Walter, so a chance at a three-point play. Chitapa, 64% free throw shooter as a freshman. Nice little step, as you said, Gordon.
Yeah, it's good vertical leap, too.
23-11, could make it 24-11 as Edgewood goes with the wholesale changes, and the starters are back in. That means Trader, Tusana, Hardiman, Houdeker, and Mulcair. It's an interesting strategy for Edgewood.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your guys,
catch it?
they
It
get
did
used to
not.
playing with each other and units and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not sure that was a lane violation. I think what happened was the ball did not hit the rim. It hit the backboard. It doesn't matter. It's a violation nonetheless. And we go back the other direction. Eagles have the ball. Nothing against the second group. I think the starters are better. So sticking with the second group for as long as that 14-2 run allowed.
Yeah.
As Tusana throws that one away as cutting was Houdeker. It's just interesting strategy.
Yeah, a fair amount of coaches will have a rotation that they go to through their first, 5 to 10 minutes
Sure.
or whatever it is, where they'll have a set rotation of guys, and then they'll mix it up as the game goes along.
Well, Hardiman's foul trouble last night certainly threw a monkey wrench into that rotation. You could see it. But it's kind of like the NFL or even college football. You got the first 15 plays scripted.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And unless there's a reason to get out of those 15 plays, yep. And traveling violation called that time. Pretty easy call as Chitapa shuffled his feet before he got the ball out of his hands. So we trade turnovers, and Edgewood in the white uniforms with the dark numbers and trim with possession. Here from South Point Arena in Las Vegas. Edgewood fans tuning in. Yep, the screen is a little bit lighter It's not as yellow as it was when Edgewood played last. We finally got up to the camera operator, and I was allowed to play with the settings, which meant all I did was hit the white balance button. Kick far side to Sana. We should point out, we haven't mentioned it a lot, brand new lighting in this arena.
Yes,
much more
nicer.
TV friendly. Yeah, much more enjoyable. Nice play by Houdeker. He has been Edgewood's chief offense so far. He now has 6 of their 13. Yeah, it's got a much more, it's brighter, but at a cooler temperature, as it were. Oh, where's the foul going to be called there? I think they're going to call the hold on the post and not Houdeker stepping in. They're going to call that on Trader, the Lodi, Wisconsin native.
1-1 coming for the Tigers. Brown at the free throw line.
What can Brown do for you? He's got free throws to determine that. 1-on-1, and clanks it off the front iron. Rebound pulled down by Mulcair. Edgewood will go back to work, trailing by 10. 8:05 to play, opening half. Edgewood will be done with the tournament after tonight. I keep calling it a tournament. It's an event. It's classic. And a foul in the corner, a little too aggressive there from Davidson, who bowled over Trader on the shot. So Trader's going to get 3 free throws. So Edgewood's playing their final game. Wittenberg's playing their first game. It happens every year.
Yep.
Wittenberg will play their final game tomorrow against a really interesting opponent. They got to get the win tonight, because I think the Hardin-Simmons game.
Oh, they play Hardin-Simmons.
Something tells me Hardin-Simmons is going to come out kind of gunning after today's game.
Well, they're definitely going to have the size advantage.
Hardin-Simmons playing their third game. Redlands will be playing their third game. Redlands will play the penultimate game against SUNY New Paltz. It's the final 2 men's games to be played after playing 4 today. Women will play 3 tomorrow at 12, 2, and 4 local time, and then 6 and 8 on the men's side. We're coming to you from South Point Arena and South Point Hotel and Casino. All the teams stay here, so do we. Great environment. Forced up the shot there, did not fall. Fight for the rebound. Edgewood comes down with it. I love seeing teams like Mount Union come in where I've had long conversations. Susquehanna is another example. Long conversations. You got to come out to this. You got to do this. You should do this. Oh, well, think about it. And they call me later, and they have more conversations about it. And I push, and then they have a conversation with me here. This is great. We're coming back. I'm like, yes. What I've been telling you for 2 years.
Yeah, it's nice. Those are programs that both travel frequently. That you're not allowed to do that.
No, that's an illegal screen.
Teams who frequently go to Florida or Tennessee or wherever. So those are the schools to get to come. Wittenberg's another one. They
tried to get
travel.
Both Susquehanna programs here. I'm going to have to go talk to my friend on the men's side. One of my favorite coaches in.
Is still Frank Marcinek?
Still Frank Marcinek, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Love Frank. Frank was kind. Emailed me, or reached out to me by text, I should say, earlier this year when he realized he wouldn't see me at the Gopher Dome this year. Frank, who's beaten cancer, we should point out. One of the rare times I was allowed to wear an opponent's colors as a tie at my alma mater. An ode to him in that cancer fight of his. Trying to fight to get that up, won't fall for Dawson Scott. And Edgewood will get it back and still trail in this one. This time they've kind of held.
Yeah, they're holding Wittenberg to. Wittenberg averages 70 points a game, 23 as we approach the 5-minute. With 6 minutes to play.
It's definitely Edgewood's game, not
it
not
is in terms of pace. Yeah.
Wittenberg's trying to push it. Nice play there defensively by Mulcair. A fight for the rebound, and bodies go tumbling. It seems appropriate. They all fell like bowling pins, and we're right near the big bowling alley here. And we're going to get a timeout called with 5:54 left. Wittenberg wants to talk things over and calls a 30-second timeout to discuss those. Pat says he's got the verbal commitments. I guess we can, let's see here. On the women's side, oh, we're going to skip the women's side. Men's side, oh, I like that. Amherst is committed verbally to come. Whittier is going to make it a trifecta. I've been working hard on them. Gettysburg will be out here next year. Thanks to, I should point out, I'll come back to that, actually. That's interesting, Gettysburg. I want to check on that. Salisbury, Bridgewater State, Redlands will return, MSOE, that's Milwaukee School of Engineering. And Ramapo will be here.
Imagine that.
Stunning news. Stunning news, I say, that the Roadrunners.
Interesting, Rich. Bridgewater State was here when Joe Faroba was the head coach.
I thought I heard Gettysburg women were going to be coming out here and the men not. So that I find that fascinating. I'll have to check.
And Salisbury has been here. Salisbury's been here
before.
Gettysburg had a huge
fundraiser, and I know money from that fundraiser helped get them out here. So it's great to see.
MSOE had their women's program here a few years ago. So
that's true. 2019.
Yeah. So, Raiders, Roadrunners, Bulldogs, Bears, Seagulls, Bullets, and Poets. Oh, and Mammoths.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a whole collection for your book, sir.
There we go. Yeah, none of this Tiger Eagle garbage.
Unfortunately, not the hamsters. The hamsters will not be here.
That would have been fantastic, but afraid not. That's interesting that the Amherst men are coming.
I love it.
I imagine Gramacki had explained the event.
I'm going to be honest. Whether they're the same head coach will be interesting to see. I'm wondering if the tenure on that is running out, as the tenure on the shot clock was running out as well.
Oh,
Harrison missed the shot. Ball was loose. Wittenberg will keep it. They'll get 20 on the shot clock. 23-15. We've hit a scoring drought. Wittenberg has not scored. Am I reading this right, Gordon? I can't.
Yeah, both teams have not scored in almost. Edgewood's 2:20 and Wittenberg's 4 minutes.
I cannot tell from what I'm reading there. Is there logos in the middle I'm missing?
No, it's hard to read.
Okay.
It was even harder when it was SUNY Canton and St. Vincent, and all stats were listed with S in front of them, so you could just guess which team it was relevant to.
I appreciate your help on that. 5:10 to play. Edgewood the ball. Chusana, three!
Nice shot.
That's a big three-pointer. Makes it 23-18 with 5 minutes to play.
Well, this is like last night. This is the type of game Edgewood has to play to win. It's got to be low scoring. It's got to be ugly, and it's got to be close at the end.
Inside. Now kick it out to Killens. Now goes to the corner to Harrison. He puts up the floater and gets it to fall. Harrison, the Eaton, Ohio native. High school national trail. That's an interesting name. I'm just taking your notes.
Yeah, I don't know where that one. I know some of the geography around that part of the state, but I don't know that one.
Sana again from the other side. It's suddenly a 4-point lead, and Wittenberg calls timeout again to talk things over. It's another 30, their last 30 of the game. With 4:23 remaining, Wittenberg's lead is dissolved to 4. By the way, 17 fouls on Edgewood, 3 for Wittenberg. It's been a low fouling affair, which also plays into Edgewood's hands because they're not aggressive defensively. And so if they're not going to get fouled for it, you're all right. That's interesting.
Wittenberg's, I'm just having fun with the live stats. Wittenberg is abbreviated WHU. Who? Exactly. There are no H's in Wittenberg, just in case you were curious.
There isn't, though they've tried.
Wittenberg. You can put it on the end of Wittenberg. That would be.
It's British.
Could be like Pittsburgh.
British spelling of Wittenberg, sir. 4:23 remaining. You can tell we're punchy on 6 games, fans. We hope you don't mind our style. 25-21. Tigers up on Eagles. I'm Dave McHugh. He's Gordon Mann. Pat Coleman alongside. And we got a stoppage for some confusion on the sideline. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
didn't have enough
Edgewood,
Eagles on
Edgewood, that was a power play there for Wittenberg.
Yeah. Eagles left the nest with only 4 birds. Needed a 5th and forgot one.
This is over in the corner working with the trainer.
Minor detail, right? That's Chusana along with Mulcair They've gone to a kind of a hybrid of their usual lineup here. Strokes out there. Hardiman's not out there, actually.
No, I'm sorry. It's Kirk, 14.
Yep. Kirk's out there on a big three for Harrison, but he landed awkwardly on the foot of Trader. So we'll see. Harrison's gutting it out. Seems all right. We'll see how long. Might just be one of those partial rolls that you can get away with. Mulcair thought about it, changes his mind. Ooh, nearly lost the ball. Smart, tipped it.
That was smart. If he catches it, it's a
It very well
travel.
could have been. Yeah, it could have been a violation. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Shot far side. Back iron no good for Kirk. Here come the Tigers, whose lead's up to 7. Got it near side to Brown. Brown inside, rattled out for Asher. Trader brings it across the timeline. Double team shows up. Mulcair gets it from deep. Back iron no good. Rebound brought in by Cal Babineau, who's on the floor for the Tigers. 5'10" junior guard out of Dexter, Michigan, and a great up and under play from Daniel Asher while being fouled. Hits the basket, will go to the line for a three-point opportunity and make this a double-digit lead again. Into the game for the Eagles comes Peyton Bowser along with Drew Houdeker. So that 5 in, 5 out is gone. Three-point play is good. 10-point lead back for the Tigers on their run. After the lead got down to 4, it's a mini 6-0 run here for Wittenberg. Or Wittenberg, depending on who's adding the H. Interesting, yeah, a lot of body contact. And it's going to allow Kirk to go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is called on Gulick. Gulick is Springfield, Ohio. Of course, that means he's down the road. You stay on campus, I wonder.
It's a very pretty campus.
It is. Matt Kirk will shoot 2, as we mentioned. I toured Ohio Wesleyan and Worcester and knew about Wittenberg when I was looking at schools.
Okay.
At the time, Worcester was proud, I think Worcester was proud of their student center they had built between the residential and academic side of things. Sadly, don't remember parts. I remember, no, that's right, that was Ohio Wesleyan. Worcester's, I remember, being kind of more of a New England style look
feels,
to
that's
it.
what it feels like. You're driving in cornfields and then suddenly you're there.
Nice bounce pass inside as Asher is able to find, bear with me, he found Sam Miller. As a 30-second timeout called by Edgewood means we've got nothing but full timeouts for the second half left for those of you scoring at home. University of Redlands will appreciate that as one of our 4 advertisers for games at this event. Really want to thank Redlands, Susquehanna, SUNY Canton, and Mount Union for their support of our work. If you are a future participant of the D3Hoops.com Classic, you too can advertise on our programs. We may even throw a twist in there and see if people want to throw in a bonus and a little extra to add conversations to the mix. Front end, back end. Yeah, pre-roll, exactly. Well, short pre-roll and then maybe a little logo on there. 2:27 remaining. We'll see. Depends on how much you want to pay up for it. Wittenberg up by 12. Sana across the timeline being harassed by Babineau. Sana's going to get all the way to the rim somehow before he's fouled and has his shot unceremoniously spanked aside by Miller. And Miller didn't even have to put his arm above his shoulder.
And Tisana's been more aggressive tonight offensively, looking for a shot more. He averages almost 10 points per game.
That's just the 5th team foul for Wittenberg because, to your point, they haven't been driving in very much on him.
No.
That was a rare move.
Tisana, not a good free throw shooter, 52%. Tops on the team is Matt Kirk at 89. And as a team, they shoot 71%. Wittenberg shoots 65%.
Strzok and Kirk take a seat. Hardiman and Mulcair back into the game. Trusana taking his time. Looks good out of the hand, just left it short. 2:11 to play. Tigers with the ball in a 12-point lead after the lead evaporated to 4. They have taken control. 8-0 run in the last 2+ minutes and a scoring drought as a result for Edgewood. Turnaround from 8 foot. Nice play there from Asher. 6'7", only playing his 5th game of the season for a team that is 4-5. They're 1-1 in conference play, 1-3 at home, 3-2 on the road. Their winning record on the road. No neutral site games, as Hardiman surprised there was no call. And Wittenberg's got the ball with less than 90 seconds to play in this half. Mulcair tried to get the steal.
Yeah, good defensive denial from Mulcair on to deny the entry pass. Worked hard with his feet and was able to deflect the ball away.
Isaiah Eubanks into the game to replace Trusana. And for Wittenberg, they bring Chitapa back in. He'll replace Miller. And taking over the offense will be Bowser for the Eagles. He takes one dribble and picks up the dribble. But he's got the ball back now. A little zone defense here from Witt. 1-3-1. Throwing a wrinkle here in the closing period of the first half. Bowser for 3 from Hardiman. Left it short. Mulcair hauls in the rebound. Out to Eubanks for 3. That's short. Another offensive rebound for the Eagles. Hardiman driving in, trying to bait the call. Does not get the purchase. And Bowser banks it home. Hardiman certainly tried hard there, didn't he?
He did. Good effort there from the Eagles to create two second chance opportunities with long offensive rebounds.
Wittenberg leads by 10. 38 seconds left to go here in the half.
Edgewood can get a stop and a score. Get into the, feels like we say this on repeat with them, but get into the halftime.
Yeah.
Single-digit deficit.
Manageable. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Harrison throws it into the corner. 1 second, shot block. And Hardiman with a huge play forces a shot clock violation. It's interesting because Chipata is kind of like, well, no, there was a touch. Yes, but it still never got to the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he touched it all right. Yeah, but he didn't gain possession. As Trusana is going to re-enter the game and Bowser will leave. They're also going to bring Trey Trader into the game for
shooting.
Eubanks. Oh, absolutely.
Getting long-range shooters. Kirk trying to load up with their outside
Eubanks
shooters.
will shoot it. He just doesn't shoot it a lot. And right, they'll bring also Kirk back into the game. So they have essentially 4 significant three-point shooters out there now. The closing 19 seconds of the half, trailing by 12. And we're back to the man-to-man defense as well for Wittenberg. 5 seconds on the clock. Mulcair, entry pass, shot up, no call, yes, late call. Count the basket for Houdeker. He'll go to the line for an old-fashioned three-point play.
Excellent job on offense there. The Eagles recognized that when Asher came up to double, that he came out of the post, and so the extra pass got it to the inside, to the open man inside.
The presence of mind of Mulcair, who looked to shoot and then fired that pass in, was tremendous.
Good ball movement there from Edgewood.
So a chance here for Houdeker. Best free throw shooter, makes it a three-point play. It's down to 9.
I think they're adding all of the points to,
Yeah,
there we go.
Just fixed it. It said 3 points on Edgewood. That's because they added 3. And Wittenberg will let the time expire. 9-point gain, Gordon, for Edgewood. It wasn't pretty, but as you said earlier, that's Edgewood. That's what Edgewood wants here.
Yep, they want a low-scoring game, and they want to give themselves a chance to win it at the end. And those moves, those substitutions, those late substitutions for Coach Meyer ended up working out pretty well to get him 3 points before the half is over.
Yeah, it worked out very nicely. So at the break, Wittenberg in their first game of this event, 35-26 lead on Edgewood, playing in their final game here in Vegas for the year. We'll take a break, get you ready for second half action. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from South Point Arena. Thanks to our friends at Sport Tours International.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
It's not about yourself, it's about your team.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
I chose Cedar Crest because it's nationally ranked for its forensic science program. And then I also chose Cedar Crest because I could come here and play sports. I could be a basketball player and then I could be a student athlete, and my teachers would understand that.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
I know sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
There's more to them than being a student athlete. They're a club president, they're a student in the classroom, so it's a well-rounded experience.
Division III school was the best opportunity for me to have both the highest academic challenges and some of the very highest athletic challenges too.
So that's why D3 athletics is so great. It gives you the opportunity to get involved in so many different things and be able to still do all those things.
D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. During soccer season, the coaches, they expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time. It's your time to go explore different things and really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
I wanted to be really balanced. I wanted to be focused on academics and athletics and be able to do other things that I wanted to do. And I knew Division III would be able to not only let me do that, but support me in that.
You have more time for your extracurricular activities outside of school, whether it's not academics, spending time with your family, your friends, and those are things that are important to me in a college experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I got the presidential scholarship from Case Western, which was huge for me.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school, and I carried that for my first 2 or 3 years.
I did receive academic scholarships my freshman year, and then every single year I get a little bit more because of my academics. Just being involved on campus, being an athlete, and then being a leader in so many different clubs. All those things combined kind of get me recognized.
Don't pass up a Division III school if you have the opportunity. Division III offers many experiences.
I would definitely choose Division III school because you can develop your leadership skills. I mean, basketball and academics are so important here, but you can also develop who you are as a person.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
I had numerous family members who've been taken away from heart disease and stroke. That drove me to pursue knowledge about health and well-being. Playing college football gave me an opportunity to get myself into college.
Goes to Parks. He's in the end zone.
That's when I decided that I want to go into personal trainer. I felt I would have a great opportunity to share my knowledge about well-being within Detroit. I hope to reach as many people as I can.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn, as we all do, that in giving we receive so much more in return.
Sport ennobles us, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
I injured my shoulder when I was practicing platform diving. It was a blessing in disguise. When I went to physical therapy, I realized this is something I want to do. That's when I changed my major to physical therapy. I want to inspire people to do whatever they love doing. I'm fortunate to have Cliff as my coach. He made me believe that I can get back into diving after my injury to prove that nothing can stop me from chasing my dreams.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are at halftime between Wittenberg and Edgewood. And never change the graphics, it changed the Reds, but we're living with it now. As Tigers lead 35-26 on the Eagles, and you can see the shooting percentages and other stats on the sheet, on the board there. Wittenberg 14 of 30 at 467, Edgewood 10 of 28 at 357. Wittenberg's made one more three-pointer than Edgewood, but Edgewood's taken 4 more. Free throws, not a lot. Both teams have made 3. Wittenberg's 3 of 4, Edgewood 3 of 8, though. Rebounding edge goes to Wittenberg, 21-15. Turnover edge goes to Edgewood, 4-5. Leading scorer for Wittenberg, well, they got a pair. Harrison and Killens each have 8. Leading rebounder, well, they got a trio there. Shatapa, I'm not saying that right, Killens and Brown. Oh, thank you. All have 2. I'm sorry, rebounds. I'm looking at the wrong category. Brown has 5. That's what I'm looking at. Edgewood's leading scorer is Houdeker with his 9, including the three-point play at the end of the half. He's also the team's leader with 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Tusana to lead everybody in that category. Points in the paint, the Wittenberg Tigers have an 18-4 advantage, also advantage of 14-6 with points off the bench. Gordon, thoughts as we get ready for the second half?
Well, you know, I thought Wittenberg, at least the difference between Wittenberg and New Paltz, they both kind of slowed down midway through the game. Those are the 2 teams that played their first one here today. The difference is that Hardin Simmons was able to take advantage of the slowdown, and Edgewood really wasn't. But yeah. Wittenberg, you know, Trey Killens is a solid player. They've got some good forwards. And, you know, up by 9, the key is to take care of the ball against Edgewood. That's what got Whittier into trouble last night and what allowed the Eagles to get closer to being back in the game. But I have not seen, other than Killens, I have not seen anyone on Wittenberg who looks like they're going to kind of catch fire and put this game completely out of reach. So Edgewood will have, if they play solid, they'll have a chance down the stretch.
So it'll be Edgewood ball. They're in the white uniforms, the dark black numbers basically, going right to left in this second half. As we are underway, he's Gordon Mann. I'm Dave McHugh. Pat Coleman is making up the D3 hoop sandwich here at Broadcaster Row. He's got the substance to our bread. Quick move inside, and Hardiman will draw the foul. First foul in this second half.
That's his third personal.
They call the foul on.
Hunter Hardiman on the line, shooting 2.
I missed who they called it on. Apologies. Galoot, that's who it is. He picks up his third. First free throw was good. One more coming for Hardiman, who was 5 of 8 coming into the weekend. He goes 1 for 2 there. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I'm Dave McHugh. He's Gordon Mann. And we got one more day of games here. Nice up and under move there for Wittenberg. Eddie Brown. That was well done. Nearly a steal for Killens in the meantime. Susana's got the ball across the timeline. Both coaching staffs, by the way, well, head coach should say, wearing red too. Just noticed that, because that shot is missed. There are so many D1 games I work now where coaching staffs have the same sponsors or the same clothing brand. It's Nike or Under Armour. Nice block by Hardiman on the three-point attempt by Brown, and so they all have the exact same look. It's like great.
Well, that's no fun when they exchange
no originality.
When they exchange quarter zips after the game.
Yeah. I like that idea, Gordon. I got to keep that one in mind to use with somebody. That's awesome. I'd like to have your quarter zip, please. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Susana backing his way in against Killens.
A lot of contact there.
He was trying to get the call and he finally did. They're going to call it on the floor, though. As Killens will pick up the foul. Team second. I believe his first, right?
They say it's his second. Let me see.
No, it's his first.
Yeah, his first.
Will be a non-shooting foul. Wittenberg's coaches don't agree. I think it was just a late whistle on one of the contacts before Susana threw it up. Geez, a lot of contact in the paint. Wittenberg's going to come away with a steal. Gulick, and he gets contact with Hardiman, who can't believe he's getting that call. Probably because his teammate didn't get the call on the other end.
That's one where I think you'd like to see Gulick give it up. That's a 4-on-1 break with 3 guys filling the lane.
I agree with you.
Now, if it makes both free throws, you don't worry about it.
Or give a nice pump fake, right?
Yeah, that is one pass away from a wide open dunk or layup for somebody.
Even if you're not going to miss that and you now lost the points. Or that's one of those where you give a really hard pump fake, get the defender out of your way and finish it yourself. Or, as you said, you've got 3 other guys that are more than capable of finishing that deal. 10-point lead.
Wittenberg averages 71 points per game. Most of their scoring concentrated in 4 guys. Killens, Brown, Gulick, and lost one. Who's the other one? Oh, Harrison.
Gulick missed both, by the way. Edgewood with possession. Picking up his dribble was Houdeker. Gets it to Susana. Killens in the air. Houdeker, spin move, gets the baseline. Flings it near side. 3-pointer off the backboard. No good for Trader. Susana gets rolled over. Ball is loose. And Hardiman somehow is on the back of Killens. And timeout called. And Hardiman's a little slow to his feet as he got his bell rung. It's a full timeout because that's all we got left. We'll take a break as well. Wittenberg, in a low-scoring affair, leads Edgewood by 10.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
Sincere thank you to the University of Redlands and others who have advertised on the air here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. We're back here between Wittenberg and Edgewood, 10-point lead for the Tigers. I was talking to Gordon during the break there, totally forgot. Not that Darren Hurts was an assistant at Florida, but that he was there for 19 seasons.
Yeah, he is really, frankly, a D1 lifer. 19 seasons at Florida, 2 seasons at Illinois. Yep, and then 7 seasons at very nearby Dayton. He was on that Dayton squad that was third in the country when the world shut down with COVID in 2020.
Big three-pointer coming out of timeout by Cameron Harrison. And it's a 13-point lead now for the Tigers. Yeah, I can't believe it was 19 years. He then went and spent 2 more years as Illinois, and as you mentioned, the time at Dayton for 7. Three-pointer return. Nice shot there from Danny Mulcair. As we trade threes and get back to a 10-point game. Assistants at Wittenberg, Nick Dials, who was at Capitol, and Parker Bunn, who spent some time at St. Thomas, Texas. We don't even have to say that. It's just weird to say St. Thomas without thinking of the former D3er in Minnesota.
Yeah, it was weird to be upstairs and watching the different D1 games scrolling by and see St. Thomas's logo as they were, now D1 and playing, wherever you see Cal Riverside, whoever that is.
Not to dive into that rabbit hole, but it's great also to see that a D3 lineup went up. And essentially that D3 lineup did so well for so many years at St. Thomas to help them transition.
Yeah, they've had a very smooth transition.
Yes,
I don't follow
on the men's side.
I've not followed. I checked in on Ruth Sin-Squan occasionally because she was always good to talk to and fun to talk to on the women's side. And it's been a rougher transition for them. But I'm, not that surprised. The success that she was able to build with Caitlin Langer and kind of 1 or 2 real big post players, that is not going to translate to the Division I level.
Hodecker hits a shot on the other end. He's got 12 now, and he gets the steal. Gets his hand in the passing lane. Up ahead to Tucson. He'll force it against Killens. Man, those two are going at it.
Yeah.
And Tucson is going to go to the free throw line with a smirk on his face. In the meantime, for Edgewood, we mentioned earlier, their head coach has been there forever. Justin Meyer, who's in his 13th season as head coach. He was 11 seasons before that as an assistant. His assistants are Mike McMahon, Anthony Janiga Jr., and Dawson Hughes, along with Jake Graff. What's interesting about Wittenberg is they're picked 4th in the conference. Worcester, Denison, Wabash, and Oberlin picked 5th, which surprised me. I thought Oberlin would be picked higher.
Yeah, and obviously extremely early in that conference, but Wittenberg's split the first 2 games. They lost to Ohio Wesleyan, who was picked 7th, and beat Hiram, who is, I don't know.
Oh, no, they were picked
far below that.
Yeah.
as far below that as you could go, or whatever it is. Hiram, not traditionally a power in men's basketball.
Chapa got away with a hooking call there as he left Hardiman in the rearview mirror. But he didn't get any points, so Edgewood has the ball back. Deep 3. Nearly went for Tucson. A nice rebound from Mulcair, but an even better block from Eddie Brown.
Great recovery by Eddie Brown.
Hardiman out, Kirk back in. What a sequence that was. It's a 7-point game, by the way. And Gordon, to your point in the first half, this is Edgewood's style of game, and Wittenberg's playing into it. Spin move, what a play by Hodecker, who now has 13, I think, to lead all scorers.
That is correct.
8-0 run for Edgewood. Now, and a foul by Mulcair as Scott somehow gets that one to fall. They're going to discuss briefly if that was an intentional, because I'll admit He wasn't in a good position. Not sure he played the ball hard, but they're going to let it be a regular call here.
Hodecker not only leads all scorers, he's perfect from the field. He's 6 for 6 and 1 for 1 from the foul line. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers in 19 minutes.
It said 8-0 run for the Eagles. That did not sound right. I think I got my logos wrong on the screen on our live stats. That's another note we could have. Make sure live stats have the proper logos or details. 15:30 left. We have a long list of things we want to improve ahead of our 15th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. We do call it annual even though it wasn't held in 2020 because nothing was held in 2020. Foul well off ball is going to go against Nick Kaiser. Correction, Spence Davidson. I didn't realize Davidson was in the game. 11. Okay, Gordon, you know this from Pennsylvania. It's Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Is it Lebanon, Ohio, or Lebanon?
It is, I believe. It's
okay.
the same Dutch or German.
I figured.
German
I just didn't want to
heritage.
assume it.
Yeah.
The Amish are very prevalent there as well, I assume.
Yes, they are in that part of the state.
Then it's
That's
Lebanon.
exactly right.
We're going to call it Lebanon, unless someone wants to correct us and they know how to get a hold of us. Shot up, good. Eagles are hanging tight. Peyton Bowser hits the shot. It's a 6-point game. 15 minutes plus still remaining in this one. Wittenberg maybe getting more of a game out of Edgewood than they were expecting. Harrison drives baseline, no options. He'll kick it out and start up top with Brown. Brown goes to Killens, who's had a quiet game. He slashes to the glass and gets that one to go in.
Yeah, he's the guy you'd like to see be a little more aggressive. He averages 20 points per game. He scored 5 very quickly, and then not much of anything until that basket there. He's got 8 now. Well, he's got 10 now.
Edgewood will reset. Houdeker gets his pocket nearly picked. I thought that went off of Houdeker, but the official says it went off of Edgewood. I'm sorry, Wittenberg. Asher returns to the game, the Indianapolis, Indiana native. We bring him up because in 2026,
he will be 24 years old.
Men's basketball will be joint championships in Indy for D1, 2, and 3.
That's probably about right.
D1 will play at the football stadium, while D2 and 3 will play at the Pacers Arena. Same place Division 3 had a championship a few years ago in women's basketball.
It's a nice gym. It's
I love it. Oh, it's great around Green.
Both the Hawks and the Pacers gyms. Yep. You do not feel totally lost there with the Division 3 game. It's
absolutely not.
It's not a giant cavern.
Nice tip-in basket there for the Tigers as they retake a 10-point lead. The only disadvantage, the great thing about the women's game was all 3 divisions were there. I got to sit behind the UConn bench for the championship game. What an experience that was. That's a story for another time, but looking forward to that in 2026 as that shot rattles out for AC Strock. Oh, just rimmed out on the other end as suddenly the pace picked up. That's not what Edgewood wants. Hardiman, looking somewhat dejected, comes to the scorer's table to check into the game. I don't think I've seen Hardiman with a smile on his face
feeling
ever.
Okay. Hit the hard floor pretty hard there a few moments ago.
You're right. Had a scary moment in our last game as Kirk thought his teammate was going to be in 1 point, and his teammate was in another point. Hardiman comes in along with Mulcair, and Houdeker and Kirk leave. Yeah, that 5 in, 5 out for Edgewood lasted 5 minutes, and it's over in the first half. But we had a scary moment in the Redlands game where one of the players came down and landed on his head and actually cut his head open on the backside, but he actually came back to the game. Happy to see that. But rarely ever see a coach step out on the floor during gameplay to tend to his player. Long 3 for Killens, no good. Strong rebound for AC Strock. And he gets it over to Eubanks. Three-pointer is good for Eubanks. Back to a 7-point game. Gordon, they are doing what they did last night to Ramapo, and they are not Ramapo, sorry, Whittier. They are not going away, are these Eagles.
Yeah, they are very good at dictating pace.
Very good.
And I can't really tell you how or why, because they're not especially good on defense. They're terribly proficient on offense, but for some reason they get the score and the pace down to where they need it.
Miller hit that shot on the other end, by the way. Back up to a 9-point lead. Really low-scoring affair at Wittenberg style. Nice spin move in the lane off glass and good for Strauch, who's put a couple of shots together here. 49% from the floor is Wittenberg. 40% is Edgewood. Wittenberg's 20 of 41. Edgewood is 16 of 40.
Yeah, look at the scores for Edgewood. There's only one game where they got totally blown out. They got beat by Chicago by 20.
Nice little jumper there by Killens. That's an interesting result, Chicago.
But they lost to Stevens Point, who's number, 11 in the country, by as much as they lost to Concordia of Chicago, who's nowhere near the top 25. So they're just really good at and neither one of those games were total blowouts. So they're just really good at, for some reason, at keeping things close.
Bowser three-pointer, no good.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed the Marion score. They got clobbered in that one, too. They lost by 27.
Wittenberg leads by 9, and Hardiman steals it on a bit of a screen and go. Bowser for 3. What a transition. Timeout called by Wittenberg with a 6-point lead. 11 minutes left. All they got are Foles will take it as well. Wittenberg trying to figure out what they can do to stymie Edgewood.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back to the 14th annual D3Hoops.com Classic, the penultimate day, final game of the day. We had played 6 today. We are 11 minutes from closing out the 6th game. Wittenberg men playing their first game of the event have a lead on Edgewood playing their second game, 51-45. I'm Dave McHugh, Gordon Mann alongside Pat and Ryan Coleman on site as well. As Wittenberg's got a 6-point lead. The only stat, Gordon, they dominate is points in the paint, 28-8. Otherwise, the rest of the stat line relatively close, other than Wittenberg is shooting 21 of 42 at 50%.
Yeah, that point in the paint differential is really the only thing that jumps out at you looking at it. Points off of turnovers, too.
Oh, that's interesting.
16-0 for Edgewood.
Yeah, 8 turnovers it's an 8-6 turnover number for Wittenberg, 8, Edgewood 6, so nothing major. But Wittenberg has not turned those into any points.
Yeah.
And Edgewood has turned them into 16, meaning pretty much every turnover has resulted in points. I know that's too simplistic. We just saw a turnover on a 3-pointer. But fascinating.
It's a good ratio.
Yeah.
If you can go for 2 for 1 on points off of turnovers, that's tremendous.
Absolutely. Under 11 minutes to play here. Wittenberg's got the ball. They're in the red. Edgewood in the white. Didn't think about the scoreboard. They're both red on the scoreboard, but I think you can figure it out. In trouble in the paint was Brown. Killens then flings it. They get it all the way to the near side. Now back to the top side. Time's running out for Gullick, who forces his way in. He'll get bailed out as Chusana was moving with him and not staying in his position. Oh, no, they call it Strauch, I guess, on the help. So Gullick will shoot 2 here. He's 0 for 2 his last time he went to the line. That one looked better. Up to a 7-point lead. Quick note, what are you looking forward to tomorrow, sir?
I think the women's games will be more competitive than they have been. Other than the Susquehanna-Wittenberg game today, that was an interesting game. They've been pretty much blowouts, but we'll get Cal Lutheran will get Colorado. Well, Colorado College is that game. I don't think will be all that competitive, unfortunately. But
Colorado College impress.
Yeah, I
top
think
25 team.
I've had him. I've had him
Hardyman
23, 22 for last couple of weeks.
All right. Feel better then about that, I assume.
I do.
Gullick up ahead. Can't get that to fall. Rebound pulled down by Asher. Asher turnaround from 8 foot will get bailed out with a call, much to the chagrin of Mulcair. The Glen Ellen, Illinois native kind of looking at the official like, no. 10-10 left. Mulcair picks up team foul number 4. Both teams at 4 fouls. We have not had a lot of fouling in this game. As the first free throw for Asher, who had not taken any free throws entering tonight, is a miss. Hold on, got too many Eagles out there. And they're going to have.
Well, that's why they played 4 a few minutes ago. Now they're going to average it out by playing 6 for a little while. Yeah.
That's a good point. They make the minutes equal.
How about we balance that off? For the next minute, we'll play with 4, and then the final minute, we'll play empty
strategy.
net, right? And we'll play with 6.
We're going to take our extra attacker here for the final 30.
Yeah.
We gave that up in the beginning of the game. That's fascinating. Under 10 minutes to play here. We're into the last quarter of the game. Mulcair being guarded by Asher. Asher, good defender. Mulcair, not really a lot of options. Tusana gets baseline and then runs into one. He put up a heck of a shot
that almost
came from behind the backboard.
That's an H for everyone.
I thought he lost it on the way up. In the meantime, Gullick hits a shot, and Hardyman can't believe he's called for the foul. In the meantime, the other person who can't believe it is Coach Meyer, who thought there should have been a foul on the other end where Tusana put up his shot. I don't think the two compare.
Well, Gullick was the one who, on the 4-on-1 layup or fast break, did not pass. Now that we've watched him do the same thing a couple of times, it's just his style.
Yep.
If he has the ball, he's not giving it up. He's going as hard to the rim as he can. So, hey, it limits the number of bad things that could happen. Right? You can score, you can get a foul, you can score that way. No risk of a turnover if I don't.
Gullick out after completing the
Woody Hayes,
three-point play, and he has a long conversation with his head coach, something on the defensive end. 9:37 left. Tigers now lead by 9. 56-47. Things picked up a little bit pace-wise for Wittenberg. We'll see if Edgewood can slow things down. Some fans got some energy behind us there for a moment.
Cited by Kyle Bapanow's defense.
Hardyman in the paint, kicks it outside. Extra step there, got away with it, was Trader. Nice feed inside, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Turn around, have a day, Mr. Houdeker. He's averages 11.5, and he's got
15 now.
15 now.
7-7.
He's having a good game. Killens, who's had a quiet game, hands it off to Harrison. Nice pass inside. Cannot get the shot to fall for Scott. Big defensive rebound for the Eagles. Tusana calls out the play, taps his head. Barely used the screen from Mulcair. Fling to the near side to Trader. Well defended by Killens. Baseline, skip to the far side to Tusana. Tusana has Houdeker, fakes it, then loses the dribble, tries to get a call. There wasn't one there, and dribbles it off his foot. And Tusana eventually says, yeah, that was my fault. 8:28 to play, 56-49. And they'll bring in Sam Miller again. Gordon had to gamble on who he thought the, top 15 players for each team were?
Yeah, I did.
Sam Miller was not on his choice.
He did not. Although I will confess that I just really wanted to get Clem Butler's name on there because I wanted the 6'11" freshman center. I desperately want him to play. I don't even know if he's here, but I want him to play.
Oh, Tusana with a steal. I've rotated my sheets the other direction now because of that.
Yeah, I don't see anyone there over there on the bench who looks like they're obviously 6'11".
Houdeker? He has no option. Kicks it out. Tusana for 3. Front iron. Miller, rebound. I flipped it 90 degrees now. I go long for basketball for that reason. More and more rosters are larger.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, I had to.
I got this set up.
So every once in a while you get that small team, you're like, oh, now I got all this empty space. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Hillen step back wearing number 12 and buries it. And Wittenberg back up by 10 for the first time in a while. It's been to double figures. Interesting. They got timeouts wrong on the scoreboard. Three-pointer from Mulcair. We got Eagles with 4 timeouts left and Tigers with 2. It's 3-3. We've had that problem all.
One thing that's been surprising to me about Wittenberg's offense, they do not look for Trey Killens. He's a first conference, first team all-conference player. He's got 12 shots.
Here he comes. He's driving in, puts around 10-footer falls. You're right. The offense isn't set up to go.
No, it really isn't. He on the season he's got 15, 20, 17, 12, and he's going to finish with about that tonight. But that's because he gets the ball and he decides to shoot. They do not look for him.
Hardiman for 3, and it's a 6-point game with 6:44 left. Another timeout. We will take it as well. We'll figure out who called it later. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic here.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Welcome back. I still don't know who called that timeout. I think it was the Tigers.
Edgewood did. They dropped them from 4 to 3.
Well, can we check live stats? Because I'm pretty sure Wittenberg has 3 timeouts left and Edgewood now has 2.
Okay.
I want to know if I'm wrong or if, once again, the scorer's table's wrong. In the meantime, 61-55. Pictures have been taken.
They show one timeout left for Edgewood and none for Wittenberg.
Well, no, that's not left. That's how many were taken. They're not even.
Oh, okay.
That's not even right. Yeah, something's amiss. Doesn't matter. 6:44 left. Hopefully it doesn't come down to figuring out who has what timeouts left.
Suddenly, both teams have 5 for their last 7. They're both on fire.
I was just about to say, that's a weird thing. Current trends on our stat sheet says both teams are 5 of 7. Nearly taken away there as Brown had to hold on to it. Brown against Trusana cannot take advantage of the mismatch. Harrison, the 3 over the outstretched arm of Trader and buries it. And the Tigers now lead by 8. This game has been wild. Not how I expected this to turn out. Hardiman drives in, and it's going to be travel. He knows it. His pivot foot dragged. Now the full court press coming from the Eagles. In the meantime, a little offense-defense matchup. Asher in for Scott for the Tigers. Killens will get the ball. I guess it's not the aggressive full court I was expecting. Hand off to Harrison. Back to Killens. Oh, nice cut. Oh, he's going to pass inside. What a block from Hardiman on this shot from Asher. Trusana gets into trouble and will get bailed out by the trail official.
That is a bailout. He was completely out of control.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to your point about Gullick, he had a guy open to his left.
Yeah.
He's trying to, feels like he's trying to do too much. He's a good player. Doesn't have to do everything. Tavia, Illinois native, junior. First free throw was halfway home. That thing looked like it was just going to roll over the front lip, and it suddenly hit the back iron and popped out. Trying to make this a 7-point game again.
Edgewood's 5 of 13 from the foul line.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Wittenberg is 7 of 13, so they're.
Yeah, neither team is doing great when they've got the chance. Drusana tried to go for the steal there on Killens. Hands off to Brown and gets it to Harrison. Looking to try and get inside Asher. Now we'll use a screen from him instead. Looking to try and get back to Gulick, but Harrison decides to go the two-man game to Asher, and a whistle down on the post. It's going to go against Trader.
I'm looking for a possession here where Killens gives up the ball and he gets it back.
Yes.
Seems like it just does not happen very often.
I agree. Wittenberg will have the bonus, by the way, for the one-on-one next foul. One thrown over the top. Guess they decided to go away from the play call. Now Killens got it that time off of a setup, but now he's double teamed. He'll give it up. He'll go over to Harrison. Harrison wasn't expecting it. Pump fakes on a 3-7 on the shot clock. Brown gets it back to Harrison. Great defense. Harrison has to give it up, and it's stolen by a good outstretched arm for Houdeker. That defense, they do little things really well. Hardiman in the corner, gets it up to Houdeker, and they'll hand off to Tusana. 18 on the shot clock, forces the issue. I think he's got to go back to his teammates a little bit. Under 5 to play. Tigers lead 63-56. Killens finds himself open in the lane and lays her home.
Nice move.
Great.
He's got 17 now.
Yeah, suddenly he's come alive as Edgewood trails by 9. Hardiman thought about it, gives up the 3. Trader, step back 2. Misses it. And which way is this going to go? Because this could go either way. It's going to go against Wittenberg. They're going to call Asher for the push-off. Into the game comes Peyton Bowser from Carroll Stream, Illinois. Actually, Bowser, first non-start tonight, I believe. He'd start every game coming into the event. I think he started the first game, didn't start tonight. Mulcair can't do anything with it, gives it up. They get it to Bowser, far side. Bowser being harassed by Harrison, hasn't dribbled, but he'll throw it to Hardiman. 7 on the shot clock. Hardiman into the paint, in trouble, puts up the shot, falls. Wow, way to work for that one. And as I said last night many times, Gordon, Edgewood is not going away.
No, hanging in there, keeping it within striking distance.
Killens got past Tusana. Now he'll get it to Brown. Ooh, Brown got away with a travel. Killens gets it back. 14 on the shot clock, under 4 minutes to play in the game. Killens starting to feel it. Goes up on Tusana, who's leaning on him, and he lays it in the glass before Hardiman could get in there for the help.
Yeah, Tusana cannot defend him one-on-one. He's just does not have enough lateral quickness.
Well, I was going to say, Tusana's not moving laterally. He's just trying to lean on him.
Yeah.
You got to just keep him in front. Just don't let him drive, and he's not doing that. Skip pass near side. Bowser, quick trigger, 3. Too long. Rebound collected by Killens, who is absolutely taken over.
He's come to life now.
Flips over to Brown. Brown, an extra pass to Gulick on the far side. Now they're looking for Killens a little bit. Asher, though, will bounce pass it into Brown. Brown will go to work off glass. Can't get it to fall. Rebound collected. Put back. Timeout Wittenberg as they take an 11-point lead. It'll be another full break for the Tigers. We'll take it as well. Tigers starting to roar here at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
Welcome back as we get ready to restart things. I'm Dave McHugh, Gordon Mann alongside. Just double checking many timeouts we've gotten in this game?
The scoreboard says Wittenberg's got 1 left and Edgewood has 3.
I don't think that's it, but well, first half, each team used 2. Check the second half in a moment. 3 minutes to play. Edgewood looking for a spark, trailing suddenly by 11 after cutting the lead down to 6 at one point. 3-pointer, McHugh just rimmed off. And Killens gets the rebound.
They're going to put Bowser on him instead of Tusana.
That's an interesting.
See if the length helps.
Yeah. Well, Wittenberg has called 3 timeouts in this half, so that is 5 timeouts. So we'll adjust that on our screen. So Edgewood does have 3 remaining. Wittenberg has 1. So that was a mistake on my part. 2:31 remaining. Another reason to get the scorebot system. Killens goes to the line here to shoot the free throws. 73% free throw shooter for the first team all-conference selection from last year. Misses it. That's what happens. You draw,
Yeah.
do all that work to drive the point, and he misses it.
No, Edgewood needs a basket.
Absolutely. You got to score here, and they can't force it. Far side Bowser to Hardiman. Thought about it. Changes his mind on the dribble. Looking for options. Tusana is going to take it to the paint, run out of real estate, and it's going to be the help defense coming over from Asher. That's going to draw the foul on that. Asher was still moving when he made contact with Tusana.
Killens got caught shading a little bit off of Tusana and left the lane open for him.
Yes. And Tusana took advantage of it. Tusana, the wincing, fell hard on his right elbow, which is a shooting arm. It's not. There's no way they're calling that a one-on-one. They are calling that a one-on-one?
He wasn't in the act of shooting?
I swear he was. He picked up his dribble. Luckily he makes the first, so it's a moot point. I mean, certainly seemed like it when he got hit in the paint.
Yeah. He didn't complain, nor did Edgewood's bench.
You're right. There was no comment. You raise a valid point there. 69-59. This to make it a single digits again. Takes his time. Looks good. Nails it.
Tough shots there with the
arm
feeling the sting.
Edgewood will call timeout. We'll keep it here. That was a full timeout. Again, we got games on the docket tomorrow in the final day of the 14th annual event. And we'll start off with 3 women's games, followed by the final 2 men's games on the day. We'll start off at 12 p.m. local with the University of Redlands versus St. Vincent College in women's basketball action in a very much cross-regional game. Then Colorado College will take on SUNY New Paltz in another dandy of a cross-regional contest before Cal Lutheran and Wittenberg will do the same. Then on the men's side, New Paltz will take on Redlands in a battle of the teams that brought both programs. And Wittenberg will take on Hardin-Simmons. 3 programs came out this year, schools I should say. Gordon and New Paltz, Redlands, and sorry, brain fart.
Wittenberg.
Wittenberg, thank you. Of course it's Wittenberg, duh. I have a feeling we may see both of Gettysburg's teams next year and some others. I like this new trend, and I've pushed it. Get both programs out here. Make a big deal. Get programs to bond with each other, but also
if you can get it with enough, you could definitely build some alumni interest or some parents' interest and make
an
the
event.
trip. I mean, Vegas definitely has a lot of things you could do besides basketball.
Well, and to be fair, there's a lot to do besides the Strip.
Yeah.
Well, Hoover Dam is not that far away. We've done that as a morning trip before. There's a lot to do in this region. If you want, Area 51's not that far away. Coming out of timeout, 2:07 remaining. Wittenberg leads by 6, 69-60. Both teams in the bonus for one-on-ones. Brown just barely got that in time. Killens coughs it up, though. Houdeker's got it inside, off glass and in. 7-point game.
I remember they got it to 5 with 44 seconds last night against Whittier.
Up ahead, Gullick gets unceremoniously denied by Mulcair, and then it goes off his leg back to the Eagles. And Mulcair struts his way up the floor.
Well, that time Gullick didn't have anybody running with him, so that was 1-on-4.
Yeah, true. Good point. Sana off glass, and it is down to a 5-point game. What were you saying, Gordon?
It's a 6-0 run. And they got it there with about 35 seconds earlier than last night. So
got it. 81 seconds remaining in this one. Wittenberg leading only by 5. They have led in double digits a good chunk of the game. And is this a timeout? What are they?
No, Tusana poked the ball away out of bounds.
Okay. Way the referee pointed, I thought maybe Wittenberg had called a timeout. They've got 1 left. Edgewood's got 2. Gullick will inbound the ball to Killens.
So far, putting the longer Bowser on Killens has worked.
Yes, agreed.
Now they switch on the pick and roll.
1 minute to play. 1 second on the shot clock. Brown's got to rush it. It will not count. Shot clock violation. By the way, we'll go back quickly to that block. In the meantime, here was Gullick coming down court. Mulcair timed this beautifully and got it right off of him.
No, I was wrong. He did have somebody running to his right.
Yeah, he did have somebody
standing there to his right.
Edgewood has the ball. 56 seconds remaining. Tusana goes around the Mulcair screen. He's got Hardiman in the corner. He's got Bowser in the corner. He drives. Howdecker off glass. We've got a 3-point game with 48.7 on the clock.
Well, they don't need to foul.
No, they do not.
Just get a rebound.
Well, it's only a 1-on-1, too.
Give yourself a chance.
Harrison loses in the backcourt. Stolen away. Howdecker again. Gets blocked this time by Brown.
Oh, big play by Eddie Brown to get that one. And now Edgewood, in some respects, that gives them a sense. I'm sure they'd rather have had the 2 points, but it gives them a sense to set something up here if they want to try a 3.
Tusana's going to take that 3. Left it short. Rebound pulled down by Scott. I don't think that was the option you wanted to go to.
No, it's exactly right. Fadeaway 3 from the baseline.
Now you should foul. It's a 1-on-1. Foul Harrison, who did not take a lot of free throws coming into today. 6 of 7. And tonight, he has not been there. So 6 of 7 on the line this season. Goes the line for the first time today with 24.3 on the clock. And timeout called by Edgewood, their penultimate timeout. What a finish. Edgewood doesn't go away.
No, they're a tough. They play tough, much tougher than they did not look like a 2-9 team.
No. Well, it's one of those where it's 2-9 where how many of those games probably the bounce of the ball didn't go their way a couple times. I'm not saying they'd flip it to 9-2, but maybe they're probably a better than 500 team in the way they play. So Wittenberg 69, Edgewood 66, 24.3 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Coach Hertz
he is really ticked off.
Fired up. He's giving it to
8-0 run. They've turned over the ball
3
times in 2:42, and the 8-0 run's in a minute 45. He sits down after a final salvo at the team. You can see it in the top of your screen there for most to watch. See how this one finishes. Killens having a conversation with himself near us. It's colorful for television. I don't know if he's ticked at his coach, at himself, or.
They are still up 3.
Yeah, right. And Harrison, though, misses the free throw.
Now it's
Now you're in trouble. 21 seconds left. Chance to tie it for the Eagles.
Does Edgewood call a timeout to set something up?
Mulcair thought about it. Will drive in. Off glass. Missed it. Ball loose. Killens with a huge rebound. And he'll get fouled by Bowser.
I'm a little surprised Edgewood doesn't call timeout to set up. They needed 3. Even if they score there.
Do you feel more comfortable setting up a play or going with the flow? I don't know.
With the way Edgewood is played, fighting to get all the way back, at some point, to use the Vegas analogy, you run out of luck, right?
Yeah.
If I go for
Timeout
3,
Edgewood.
I'm looking for 1 shot to tie the game, and then I take a chance at overtime. If I get 2, now I need something else to go my way just to get a chance to get the ball back. And if Wittenberg makes 2 free throws, you get the ball back and you're down 3 again. So
that's a fair point. Edgewood calls their final timeout, trailing by 3, with Killens going to the line for free throws. He is 1 of 2 so far today. He's a 73% free throw shooter. He missed his last trip there on the front end of 1-on-1. It is still a 1-on-1 situation.
I just think that with that last timeout, setting up your own play and putting the pressure on Wittenberg to make a stop, I don't know if they saw what happened in the Tigers huddle the last time around or not. Maybe they heard it because it was pretty loud, but I almost want to make them live inside their own head and put more pressure on them and say, okay, I'm going to come up with a play here to get 3. Can you stop me? As opposed to, can I get a 2 in the flow of the game and maybe turn you over?
Well, in Mulcair, maybe he doesn't like it, but I thought the pump fake got him a chance to step left and fire. And he, so far tonight, is 2 for 5 from deep. Bowser's 1 for, these are the guys who are out there, 1 for 5. Hardyman's 1 for 2, though, was a big one just a few moments ago. Tusana's 2 for 6. Nobody else. The Traders 1 for 4. Strokes 0 for 1. Kirk's 0 for 4. Hugh Banks is 1 for 2. Combined 8 for 29 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
I think Mulcair was probably had the best option there. Maybe
Hodecker is 9 for 10. I know you can't pick who you want to shoot the ball unless you get him the ball.
9 for 10 from the floor, but he hasn't taken a 3.
No, that would have been the one guy if I was looking for a 2 that I'm.
Yeah, I agree with you. First free throw up and good. That is huge. Makes it a 2-possession ball game with 8.7 seconds on the clock. So one more doesn't matter. Edgewood's going to have to find a prayer here. Second one's good. Now that prayer is pretty much out the window. There is no 5-point play. Quickly up court, 6 seconds left. Tusana airs it. Back iron, no good. And Edgewood will come up short again. In the meantime, 0.2 of a second left. And
Tusana's hurt.
Tusana came down really, really awkwardly at the very end of that play. We'll see how much we can see on this off the made free throw. Give me a second. I just have to cue up one other part of it. There we go, and now we'll flash to it. And he is in a tremendous amount of pain.
Is he getting enough space to land?
Oh, I think he landed on his toe. He had plenty of room to land. There was no defender near him. Killens was off to the side.
Okay.
From what I saw there. And I think he just landed awkwardly, unfortunately. One more.
Now Tusana,
peek at it.
And you can't come back in that way. I credit the grittiness.
Here's the landing. Yeah, I think he just landed awkwardly. Killens is off to the side there. It had nothing to do with it. That will bring the game to a close as the ball is inbounded. 71-66 is your final. Tough ending for Edgewood. They again fight to the very end, Gordon, and just can't hold on.
Just not enough.
Can't pull it off.
Yeah, not enough plays left late in the game. Credit their toughness and their grittiness. Eventually these.
Susana's walking. That's good to see.
Yeah, these games kind of pile up on you.
They do. They're now 2-10, unfortunately. Not that it's about me, but I've been through tough seasons in my career. 0-17 in college. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way, even if you're a good team. I liked Edgewood. I think they're going to give the NACC some fits. Meantime, Wittenberg gets their first win here, 71-66. They'll return tomorrow. They will take on Hardin Simmons. Am I right there? No, Wittenberg, Hardin Simmons. Yes, I'm correct on that. That will be our finale here from the D3Hoops.com Classic for this year. SUNY New Paltz and Redlands will be the penultimate game. Again, we'll get things started with Redlands and St. Vincent women. Colorado College followed by SUNY New Paltz at 2 p.m. local. Cal Lutheran Wittenberg at 4, followed by SUNY New Paltz Redlands at 6 in men's action. And then Wittenberg, Hardin Simmons in men's action to wrap things up. Quick wrap up for Wittenberg. They ended up shooting 28 of 54 at 52%. 6 of 14 from beyond the arc at 43%. 9 of 17 from the free throw line at 53%. Edgewood finished the game 25 of 60 at 42%. They actually shot very well for the game. 8 of 30 from beyond the arc at 27% and 8 of 16 from the free throw line. Both teams lost quite a few points on the free throw line. Wittenberg outscored Edgewood 36-16 in the paint. Leading scorer for Wittenberg with 23 was Killens, who absolutely opened it up in that second half. And Harrison finished with 13. Hats off to Drew Houdeker. He led Edgewood with 19, including some big points in the run to the end. Tucson finished with 12. Leading rebounder for the game was Eddie Brown with 9. Houdeker had 8 for Edgewood. Any final thoughts, Mr. Gordon?
Well, for Wittenberg, I know that Coach Hertz was, exercised there at the end of the game, but tough, gritty win. We talked about the grit of Edgewood. Now, Wittenberg, it can't be easy to come in here to watch everybody else play, to watch a bunch of people leave, and to get the win. So for Wittenberg Tigers, they get back to 500. They're 5-5, and that will, that'll be a pivotal game tomorrow for both of those programs. If you're Hardin Simmons or if you're Wittenberg, it feels a lot different to go back into conference play 2-0, or in Hardin Simmons' case, 2-1, than it does to kind of just break even or finish a game below 500. Momentum matters, I think, when you get into early conference play, and Wittenberg is going to get back home, and, they're going to play Worcester. So imagine there will be some emotion for that
Undefeated
game.
Worcester at this point.
Yeah,
That's a huge rivalry.
And one of the biggest rivalries into Division III. So big game tomorrow for the Tigers. Nice finish tonight for them, and they will put themselves in position to try and get a 2-0 holiday road trip, which is never easy wherever you go.
I'll do it from us on this 29th of December. Wittenberg, the win over Edgewood, 71-66. Our day of 6 is over. We got a day of 5 tomorrow, starting at noon. Local time, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. Again, it'll be Redlands and St. Vincent getting things started on the women's side. Go to d3hoops.com/classic for a full listing of all the games, including our D3 Hoops Classic Conversations with Gordon and Pat. I think I'll be dabbling in one of those conversations this evening myself. We'll get those turned around when we can, air them during the broadcast tomorrow as well. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Wittenberg survives against Edgewood 71-66 here at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
You're no stranger to challenges. You feel the weight of the work left to do, but more importantly, you dream of making the world a better place. From day one, you've never given up in the face of obstacles, and you're not going to start now because you are relentless to your roots. And your success in the future is rooted in the decisions you make today. So choose a university with a 100-year legacy of dogged determination and community impact. The University of Redlands. Learn more at redlands.edu.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.